Right, it's the 7th of July today. We've just had a right thunderstorm, real torrential rain, but at least I've got my onions inside. A lot of people are phoning up and saying they're getting botrytis. It's just caused through overwatering or damp weather, not enough movement of air. So at least I put the fans on in here every day. It's not too hot in here, but we're going to take a look at the large exhibition onions. And remember, these are grown in 20-litre pots. This is probably the biggest one in the tunnel. I'll just put a tape measure on, we'll have a little look. Right, that one's 21.5, I don't know if you can get that. So that's 21.5. There is a couple of skins to come off that. I try and leave one skin on all the time as a protection skin. That one's on 20 inches. Another one we'll take a look at. I think they're all around about that size. The smallest ones will be 18. Yeah, that one's on 20 as well. So they're coming along nicely. I'm going to start lifting them probably at, well, anything from 20 to 22 inches. So I probably will start lifting a few of those, but I'm going to leave it and see if I can get another week on them. The nice onions all the way down. What I have taken a look at was some for 1.5 kilogram class, and I've actually lifted some at the weekend because they're starting to get too big. So we just look at these. These are averaging 17.5 to 18 inches. I've left a long neck on, so it's difficult to get a true weight, but I have weighed them, and they're just over the 150 kilogram. So basically, we can see, I hope they dry out a little bit. They've got 4 or 5 weeks to go to the shows, well 6 weeks to go to the shows. They'll have a nice skin on by then. They'll be moved out of here. I'm going to put them into a dark area. But still, while we're on with that, these little onions, I am lifting these for 8 ounce, which is the 250 gram class. So it's all the same onion, just grown to different sizes. So what I'm looking for on these is onions around about 9.5 inches. That one's 9.5, so we'll lift that. These are only grown in 2-litre pots. Quite comfortable in a 2-litre pot, and they weren't sown until the 3rd of March. Just basically cut the roots off. As you can see, just clean that off. I'm going to cut that root. That's the root trimmed off. Leave plenty of neck on it, give it time to dry out. Cut the top off. And then we'll tidy the onion up. As we can see, they're all split skins to come off. So we just peel those off. Be careful when you're doing this because it's easy to split the next skin. There's actually a split skin there. It's a minute split, but there is a split in that skin. So I'm going to remove that one as well, because if you leave it on, it will, as it's drying out, that will just split further. I don't like removing a thick skin, which this one is. You could end up with a corrugated onion. We'll see what it's like. Yeah, that's stripping very nicely. That's a nice onion. We're going to weigh that, so if we come along to the scales. Let the scales recalibrate themselves. Right, so I'm looking for 250 grams, that's 245 grams, so that's ideal. There is a little bit to come off the top, so it'll probably right around about the 240 mark. So that one was the first one I actually lifted, and I waited until it was 10 inches. You can see it's quite a bit bigger. It's way over, it's far too heavy. So these are what we're looking for. Just slide in there, you can see it's quite a high onion. It's a different shape than the traditional more round flat ones, but I like to see these. They ripen off lovely, you get a lovely straw colour on them, and they'll be nice when they're tied in with raffia. The only other thing that remains to be done now, it will be washed properly. The roots will be washed, and I'll dress it in talcum powder. These have already been dressed in talcum powder, so, and that just helps with the ripening off process. When you come to exhibit them, make sure you wash all the talcum powder off, because it's not natural, and the judge will frown upon it. So that's it for the onions today. The only other onion class is the large heavyweight onions, which are basically just grown for weight. Not so keen on this shape. I don't even like that, so that onion I won't keep. But the ones that are shaping up nicely, they've got a big framework on them. They're not much bigger than the actual quality onions over there, but they are shaping up nice, and hopefully they'll have a little bit more weight to them.